Hey, if you're looking to create a set of financial projections for a dental practice, then you've come to the right place. We have created a financial projection spreadsheet template built specifically for dental practices. I'm going to walk you through how to fill out the template and everything that it includes so that you can raise capital from investors and lenders. But first, a couple of housekeeping items. You can get a link to this template in the description of the video below. And also, if you stick around to the end of the video, we're going to give you a coupon code, a discount code that you can use to take a discount on this particular template as our thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. Lastly, just a little bit about me. My name's Adam Hoeksema. I'm the co-founder of ProjectionHub, and we help entrepreneurs and small business owners create financial projections for loan applications and investor presentations. And I was inspired to create this business because I was an SBA lender, a small business administration lender, where we made loans to thousands of businesses over the 10 years that I was serving there. And during that time, I really noticed that a lot of clients really struggled with the process of creating financial projections. And so in an effort to try to help ease that process, I created ProjectionHub. And today we have a library of over 100 individual financial projection templates for all sorts of different industries and business models to try to help in that effort. So with that, I'm going to focus today just on our dental office template. I'm going to dive into that now. So once you're all done with the process, this is where you're going to end up, the At a Glance tab, where you can get a number of different charts and tables and graphs that will be helpful to pull into your business plan or investor pitch deck. You're also going to get a 5-year income statement summary, a 5-year cash flow summary, a 5-year balance sheet summary, and then your income statement, cash flow, and balance sheet summary, all broken down by month for all 5 years. Now, in order to produce these reports, we have a little bit of work to do first. And so we're going to start on our input assumptions tab here. And the first thing you need to know is that every cell that's highlighted in light blue is an assumption that you can change without breaking anything in the model. So we've set our projection start month to January, and we've set our opening cash balance to 0 because we're assuming this is a brand new startup dental practice. We're assuming a personal investment of $80,000 in month 1. We're assuming that kind of all of the initial startup expenses and the investment and the loan coming in all comes in month 1. And then the projections kind of going forward are once the practice is open and operating. You'll notice accounts payable terms here. We're assuming that 80% of your bills are paid in the month that the expenses incurred, 20% on a 1-month delay. So maybe some of your vendors give you 30 days to pay a bill or an invoice. On the accounts receivable side, we have a default here set to 30 days to collect your sales. Now, this really could depend on your particular business model. If you don't accept insurance and you require cash or credit card payment up front, then this number could be 0 days to pay. You're getting paid right away. Or if you only accept insurance or primarily accept insurance, it could maybe be even longer than 30 days. So you need to pick the number of days based on your kind of particular business model. We also have a starting inventory balance of $5,000 that we're assuming, and an assumption that you're going to continue to carry some percentage of inventory just on the balance sheet here. So a small percentage of your sales will just hold as inventory, 10% here. For fixed assets, we're going to assume that you are renting your office space and that you need some renovations to get it ready. So we have a $100,000 budget here for renovations or leasehold improvements. And we have a 15-year life expectancy for those. So typically you're going to want to have your life expectancy or the renovations amortized over the life of the lease. So if you had a 10-year lease, for example, you might want to put 10 years here instead. For your dental equipment and furniture and fixtures here, we have a 10-year and 5-year life expectancy respectively, all purchased in month 1 of the projection. We also have a startup loan of $350,000 in month 1 at an 8% interest rate at a 120-month term, so a 10-year term. Now you'll notice this green table down here, and we're going to come back to this at the end. But what this is trying to do is trying to estimate how much cash you need to get started. And so it's going to look at how many months is it going to take you to break even, and based on that, how much working capital do you need in order to cover those months before you're profitable or before you break even. How much cash you need for those initial fixed assets, so the $200,000 here, plus a buffer. And so that right now estimates that we need $383,000, but we've got $80,000 from investment, $350,000 from loans, so we have our starting cash is sufficient. But we'll come back and look at this at the end. All right, let's jump to our revenue tab. So if you have any current patients, you could set those current patients right here, the number of current patients right there. But we're going to, again, assume this is a startup and that we have no patients. We have an advertising budget of $3,000 a month that we're going to use to try to acquire new patients. And we're assuming a $200 cost to acquire a new patient. And we have a link to a data source there where we're getting that assumption. So new patients from paid ads is 15 new patients from paid ads. We also assume new patients from organic sources, so word of mouth or referrals, of 50 a month. So that will help us calculate our total new patients. Here we can see the total number or the maximum number of patients that we think the practice can have. Now, we have a link here that says the average dental practice, kind of common dental practice, one dentist can handle roughly 1,500 active patients. So we're kind of setting this up to assume that we could have 2 dentists in this practice. If you were to change this to 500, for example, let's say we only had 500, we're going to just do this part-time, we can only serve 500 patients. What you'll notice is that the number of active patients here goes up according to your assumptions until you reach 500, and then it just levels out at 500. All right, so once you know your number of active patients and your number of new patients each month, you need to enter in your services here. Now, the first line here you'll notice is not blue, and that's on purpose because we don't want you to change this. This first line, we're going to assume that every new patient, so all of these new patients here, are going to have this initial cleaning and exam. So initial appointment for $175, and you can change whatever that fee might be, as well as the material cost. So the material cost could be, your toothpaste, your fluoride, your gloves, your masks, those sorts of things, the consumables in the process of providing the service. And again, we've blacked this field out, because we're assuming that every new patient is automatically going to have this service provided. Then you'll have your other services, so fillings, bridges, crowns, other regular cleaning and exams. You can put your price, your material cost for the service. And then in this column, you're going to put the number of times per year that the average active patient is going to purchase that service. So what this is saying here for a regular cleaning and exam is that the average active patient is going to purchase this 1.5 times per year. So maybe you're trying to get everybody to come every 6 months, which would be 2 times a year, but maybe not everyone's compliant with that, so you're at 1.5. And maybe for fillings, 0.33 or 33% of your active patients are going to have a filling once a year. So that's going to help you kind of outline all of that. Now, you'll see this membership plan section over here. So if you offer a membership plan where clients can pay you an annual fee for membership for discounted services, you can set those discounted service rates here, as well as the number of times it'll be utilized per month or per year for those members. Here we can set our average percentage of our fee that we expect to be reimbursed. So the ADA says roughly 70%. You can adjust that. If you're cash only or credit card only, then this might be closer to 100, for example. But if you're insurance, it would be less, probably, right? For membership revenue, if you do have a membership program, you can put in the percentage of your active patients that you expect to participate in that membership program and what the annual fee is here. If you don't have a membership program, no problem. You can just put 0% in here and it will zero out that revenue. So you'd want to put in 0% for each year that you don't expect to have a membership program. And that is it on the revenue and cost of goods sold side. On our operating expense tab, you can put in your various operating expenses as either a fixed dollar amount, so like accounting fees could be $500 a month, or as a percentage of revenue from this dropdown. So you'll notice, for example, credit card processing fees of 2%. So we selected percent of revenue, and it's 0.02 represents 2% of revenue. All right, now let's move on to our salaries and dividends tab. So let's say we're going to start with just one dentist with an annual minimum salary of $100,000. And this dentist is going to operate from month 1 through month 24 of the model, because in month 25, we're actually going to hire a second dentist. So we'll have 2 dentists starting in month 25. Could still be that same initial dentist, plus a new one, right? Both with an annual minimum salary of $100,000. And this is important that it's the minimum salary, because we have this variable compensation structure over here, where what you can do is you can set what percentage of total revenue or production that particular dentist is responsible for. And then you can give a bonus once they have met their minimum salary. So the way this is going to work is they're going to take that average or that annual minimum salary, divide by 12 to come up with a monthly number. And then once you've hit that number in revenue, any revenue above and beyond that, the dentist is going to get a 20% bonus commission of that additional production. And we can see that in month 25, once we have the second dentist, it'll be split. The production will be split between the two dentists there. All right, that brings us back to our at a glance. You can see that, by year 5, we're up to 1.9 million in revenue with a $465,000 projected net income. We'll want to come back to, after you've made your adjustments, come back to this table on the input assumptions tab and just make sure starting cash is still sufficient. And that's really it. So if you have questions as you're going through this and want to reach out, you can reach out to me at support@projectionhub.com. I can help fill the template out. I can review your template before you send it to lenders, give you some feedback. Happy to help you with that. We will also, to let you know, that discount code is in a link. So if you go down to the description of the video below on YouTube, there'll be a link to a form. You fill out that form, and we're going to email you our most up-to-date discount code as our thank you for watching here to the end of the video. And again, if you have any questions at all as you're going through it, please don't hesitate to reach out at support@projectionhub.com. Thanks.